All right, this thing is live. This Jamhole thing is live. It's alive. It's alive. Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Okay. We here?
We're here.
Are we present?
I think so. Maybe.
Did you get me a present?
Working on it actually.
Okay. I got you guys this present. It's a podcast.
All systems go. Prepare for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off to adventure in the amazing year 400 billion.
Obscene, dirty, filthy, immoral.
What are you people? On dope?
Welcome to the channel. Today is Sunday, October 12th, 2014. And my name is Matt.
I'm BJ.
What's up, dude?
Not much.
What's up, internet dudes? Not much, guys. Cool. It's episode 651 of the Jamhole. Lately, just once a month when we have a minute, we're going to come back, check in, see what's going on, make some fun of some stuff, therapy.
It works.
Do people, do most, I've never been, except when I was like a kid. I think I went to therapy a little bit. But like as a normal, is once a month, is that like the usual?
Actually, it's about once a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, that's
crazy enough like me, you might get 3 times a week.
So the more per week is correlative to how crazy.
Yes.
Right. Because the more crazy, obviously you would need to get that out more often, right? So you could actually say in the history of the Jamhole, you could look back at episodic frequency, right? Using my words, say. And you could look and say, here, when they started 3 days a week, motherfuckers were probably crazy, right? And you say, okay. And then they gradually dropped it down to once a week. The doctor's like, I like where you're at dosage-wise, okay? We've got you on a level, stable dose. I'm only going to need to see you once a week, right? And then now it's once a month. Doctor's just like, man, you guys are doing fine. You don't even really need me here. The only reason that we still have to see them once a month, right, is so that they can still get some sort of a check.
Right.
Because you're making bank 3 days a week. That's like $200 a sesh. That's good money.
Yeah, that's
it. You could almost say it's not in their best interest for you to
get
become
better?
less crazy, right? The more crazy also correlative to me getting paid. Big bucks, no whammies, paid. That's pretty sweet. We went to the fair. We went home. We went back home for a few days. For somebody that's never experienced it, and I had just a couple things that really stuck out for me personally in this experience. And I want to mention we were our group, parts of our group, I should say. Parts of, actually it was just Kyle and Bob, but parts of our group did so well at their job. We were there to fire watch. We're there to watch fires, right? I mean, I've watched a lot of fires in my time, so I figured we were well experienced.
Oh yeah. Being
some Montana folk to come volunteer and we'll watch your fires. That included dealing with fireworks, hippie espionage, redneck hippie guerrilla warfare, all while in a reality not this one. Like here we are right now, we're in this reality, everything's normal, right? Physics, everything, you could say light and shapes, everything obeys the laws of physics, right? In this reality. In that one,
not so much.
All bets are off. I don't even know. But so it was
all in.
We got invited back for the spring fair, which is in May, which is going to be much warmer. And really, I didn't get that cold. I didn't even have to break out the ninja suit, like the snowboard gear. We were ready.
Does that upset you, actually?
Kind of, but in a way, I'm kind of glad because now I'll get to like break it in up on the mountain in the snow and not like while I'm sweating and gross, trippy, you know, like I do feel good that it didn't get taken out there and just run through the hay and the dirt and everything.
I'm glad it safely made it back.
Yeah, I'm glad we all safely made it back. I mean, I think we did pretty good. Had a little group I was in charge of keeping a little eye on, and you know, I'd lose one or two here and there, but statistically speaking, out of like the 6 or 8 or however many, so I don't remember how many there were. I know that I did lose a couple here and there, but they came back usually, and so
because there's food. Animals always come back to where their food is.
That is a good point. We're just animals. We go where the most food is. You guys should be learning from these hip hop lyrics in all of these songs we listen to. A lot of knowledge there. A lot of good knowledge, definitely.
I learned this on the farm. You just throw animals outside and they'll just keep coming back as long as the food and water's there.
Yeah, exactly. On the way there, we got a little room, and I thought it was amusing because it was this sweet kind of. It wasn't super sweet, but it was kind of
the bed was sweet.
The bed was pretty sweet. The little like jet jacuzzi faux hot tub was
that only you use.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. It was amusing to see like this giant vaulted ceilings and like this big room, and then this little tiny LCD TV that just kind of, it was like it was an afterthought. Like, oh shit, we should probably get this giant old wood fucking TV out here, and all they had left was the little one.
I feel like someone went in there and there was a nice TV in there too, and they just took theirs from like the back seat of the car from the kids and was like, here we go.
Like one of the maids just cleaning up the room. Like, there's no way.
Dude, you guys are gonna have to put that on their credit card because they stole that fucking TV.
And they don't even know. I mean, like, you don't know. You just get in there and assume that, well, it's spared, you know?
I mean, how many times maids actually do that? Like, they're like, dude, this shit was not there. And they really like took it out.
I don't think so much as like replacing it with their own shit, but I worked at a hotel. It was like my very first job when I was a kid, and I bared witness to a lot of things that got brought home or whatever. There's this one kid. I don't even know if I told this on the show. There's this one kid that worked there, and he was leaving for college, and so as a like going away gift send off, all of us went around and collected things that one might need at a dorm. You know, an iron. A vacuum, we got him. A bed set, right? Like the king size, all that stuff. Kitchen, coffee. We got him a coffee pot, coffee maker, a bunch of coffee for it.
That
like,
shit's important.
We
Those
literally
things are very important.
We had like 4 black trash bags full of like living whereas for him to. We like go out back and allegedly and just set it by the trash, and after work, he came and picked it up, and that was that. But yeah, I bet that happens a lot because you don't get paid shit, right?
No, I worked in one for
maids.
About
Maids don't
2
get
weeks.
paid. Fuck all.
Yeah, I got 1 paycheck.
Yeah, fuck that. And to clean up other people's stuff, like people are mad. We talked about that, like when Canadians come over the border.
And you were so fucking right.
Yeah, it becomes their like bathroom. They just kind of pee on everything because it's not mine. I don't give a shit. Done it before myself, you know. it happens. It happens. So as someone that was never there, did you have any like were your expectations met? Was it more like tell me about it?
I didn't really have any expectations going there. Like
just a bunch of hippies and drugs and party time.
I was very aware of what shit may be there and what shit may not be there.
Sure.
But the good news is we had Bob to shut shit down.
That's true.
He was always there, no matter where he was.
That was true.
He was always there.
The saying of the whole weekend was basically that you just shut shit down.
Everybody.
I heard it. It started in the fire camp where we all were, because whenever there was some shit going on that wasn't supposed to be going on, and like the whole thing of like why it was so important that like this fire camp and fire watch was happening, they had like some of the worst fires ever just recently in that area, not where we were, but like in that area in Washington. And so they had a fire ban on everything. Like you can't have fires and shit. And when that happens for this fair, a lot less or less people show up because it is cold. If you don't have fires, it kind of sucks and everything. And so when they said that the fire ban was lifted, everyone was like, yeah, cool, fires. But that also means that in this dry area, you have to have people keeping an eye on these. And so there were burn permits, and everyone had a burn permit that had a fire. So if there was one that wasn't permitted, you had to shut that shit down. And there was quite a bit of that. On top of fires that had to just get shut the fuck down, there was also fireworks. And now that's bad because this area is just dry. And on top of that, you have, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7,000 hippies and kids, and just not in, like, we're all in different realities. Yeah. Like, try to evac that out of this dirt road. There's no fucking way. So you have the fire watch crew shut shit down, make sure the fair doesn't burn down, right? Makes sense. Right. Fair didn't burn down. Mission accomplished. Boom. But yeah, so fireworks happening, and Bob and Kyle having to run after them and shut that shit down. And you'd watch them, and it was almost like they were playing a game because they'd run over here and light one off, and then you'd watch fire, like little lights running towards it, like tripping over rocks and reality and everything. And then like you'd see another one go off like on the other side. You'd see him like yes, it was so good. I mean, it was terrible, and you should never, if you go to something like that, don't be dicks and like light off fireworks because like that.
You will have your shit shut down.
Yeah, you will have Bob and Kyle, and shit will get shut down.
And me this time.
Also saw a camp of Kyles.
Yes.
So there's like a group that rolls over, and they are like, "Hey, is Kyle here?" And Bob was like, yeah, there's a Kyle here. And Kyle like sees that, he looks over, he's like, I'm Kyle. And all of a sudden they're like, you're Kyle? We've been looking for you. We're also Kyle. And like there was like 12 of them, and they were all Kyle. Each one was named Kyle, and they had a camp. And so they like found Kyle, our Kyle, which was the 13th Kyle. And it was like this biblical apostolic like thing going on here, and Kyle was just like
put up on a hay bale
in awe on this like hay bale because he was like backing up, and he ended up, I don't know if it was that reality in particular or what, but he ended up on top of this hay bale being worshipped by 12 Kyles, it was messed up,
which we thought was shit,
right?
We thought him and Bob were.
Would you expect? And I'm on the radio. We have little radios, and I'm like, you tell your little clan of Kyles that you better assemble because we're gonna bring pain. You know, just messing with them, right? And all of a sudden, I hear a bunch of Kyles sounding off. You hear Kyle, and I thought it was our Kyle in the tent, like making like Kyle 1 over, Kyle 3 here. You know, it was not. There was actually a channel that had all these Kyles on it. Where would you see that? Where in life and this reality would you ever come across a camp of Kyles, which is also known as a cock? So if you run into 3 or more Kyles, it's called a cock. And don't get it twisted, it's not a cock of Kyles, because a cock is a clan of Kyles. So if you say it's a cock of Kyles, you're really saying it's a clan of Kyles, cock of Kyles, right? Doesn't make sense. It's a cock. You see 3 Kyles, that's a cock. Or boom, a camp or clan of Kyles. So there you go.
Very important. Hope they come to the festival next time.
I know. I thought that it possibly might have been them lighting off all the fireworks, because ever since South Park, and I'm sure every Kyle can vouch for this, but your friends, like you have a Kyle, that's the one that always gets picked on, right? Because of that show, and their Kyle got picked on, so everyone's Kyle. So I thought that maybe all the Kyles like were sick of it, and they're like, we're gonna band together and stand up for our rights and our Kyle-ness and everything, and we're just gonna burn this place down. It wasn't Kyle's, but that would have been
maybe
crazy.
We don't know that.
What else did you see? Little Red Riding Hood was there.
I seen her on the last day. Yeah, I didn't really see much of her.
I saw, and I'm just gonna throw this out there because we're all about helping you attain that higher state of living and everything. But I saw at this this place, if you know what a health stone is, you'll probably want to get one. They're kind of expensive, but so it's like this piece of glass, all right? It's got lava rock or pumice inside of it. And I saw that may be probably the best way to do your Deemsters. If you're just going to try and blast off real quick, you should get a health stone. So the more you know. What else did you see? Anything else interesting? I mean, the whole thing is like an experience. You have to really, you have to go. So
Yeah.
if you're around in May, we're going to make another trip. It'll definitely be fun. It's like May 3rd, I think. It's that weekend. But
Bob's in charge this time. He's made that very clear.
as far as
applicants.
Oh, recruits to come
Yes.
volunteer on Firewatch with us?
Yes.
Yeah. You got to be able to move some wood, right?
I got that one.
You got to be able to be stable, right? And you got to when we tell you something, got to listen, because we've done this before. We're not
There are
fucking
missions
around.
that need to be done.
That's right. And there's an order to doing things. You got to do it in that order. Otherwise,
And a pace.
that's right. You got to pace yourself. That's right. I
learned this on my
understand.
trip,
I
too.
understand the excitement. If I was,
I learned I'm controlling.
listen, if I was a kid and I got turned loose at a place like this, I probably would have done the same fucking thing. Minus, but you know what I'm saying. It would have been insane. And if you have kids, you can bring your kids, because there's a whole little
Kid camp.
Kid camp. It's awesome.
There is.
I would
kid
bring,
camp.
if I had a kid, I would totally bring them to kid camp. Not even making that up.
I don't know, because then at night I'd have to watch them, and I don't know that I would want to do that out there.
I would leave them in kid camp.
You can't just leave your kid in like.
Oh, yeah, no,
daycare
I would-
all
I
fucking
would-
day.
The whole weekend. I'm
You
saying.
can't
I'll
do
just
that.
kid camp. Have
You
fun.
can't.
Have fun. We'll see you later.
Why don't you send them off to a regular kid camp where they'll actually have fun?
You're saying they wouldn't have fun at this kid camp? I think they would have fun.
I don't know.
I would have fun. I mean, imagine being a kid and being taken to something like this, and
With
then
all
the
those colors?
experience you would see in this. Yeah, it would be so awesome.
I don't think I could bring my kid there. Just
You'd be the most
because-
badass kid ever.
But the thing is,
You'd
with
have to
my
pace yourself.
with my genes, that fucking kid, I'd lose them
Well, and that's-
because they
wow.
would escape because nobody could shut that shit down, and my kid would be gone.
Gone where?
Would have taken off to go explore everything,
But that's fine. There's everything to explore.
but not by themselves. But they would have done it.
I mean,
I know.
if they would have done it, then that says to me that they're ready for that experience. You know? When
Okay.
the student is ready, the teacher will appear and send you on a trip to the woods. Oh, it's so
Which brings
awesome.
us to the Naked Man.
Yeah, I've never been to this festival, but and I don't even know if this is real or not. And I feel like after all of the fakeetry that's been happening lately, and it's very amusing. It's definitely funny watching actual real news places report as truth, as fact, right? And not really taking the time.
What happened
But
to checking your
this
facts?
this dude in Georgia, I guess there's a festival called Tomorrow World. It's a Tomorrow World Music Festival. And there's this 4-minute video on YouTube of this hunter guy, right? This +5 Destiny hunter, right? With his guns and everything. He's through these woods here, and he finds this naked festival goer just wandering around a creek for 4 days after the event had taken place. So, and we were there like the last day, and they're like, they want to get people out of there so they can get everything kind of back to normal. And you always wonder about the people that go too far, go too hard, do too much, and exceed the amount of time given in that reality. So when it's time to go and you're still in this other reality, you may find yourself naked, stumbling through the woods, and on a YouTube video. This guy actually, though, he claims he got beaten up and everything.
Drug out there
Right.
Like, they didn't just beat him up and he ran away. Like, they beat his ass up out in the woods.
But yeah, who knows if it's true. The guy, he pleads for help. He begs the hunter not to shoot him. And you can't really hear on the video. All you can really do is kind of see like this dude just like out in this creek. Like, it looked like he was kind of washing. I don't know what was going on, but he's like, "Sir, I'm alone." And the guy, the hunter, his name's Casey. He's like, "If I see someone else, this ain't gonna be good." And the guy says, "I had a head injury a couple of days ago. I'm hoping I'm still in the state of Georgia." When you say head injury, do you mean you were tripping your little balls off? And you're hoping, I'm hoping I didn't trip myself into another state? It might happen. I don't know. He says, "I was at a music show with friends. 3 guys beat the crap out of me. They stripped me down and kicked me out." Which kind of sounds like maybe
He did too many drugs.
Your buddy system, first of all, is all fucked. Okay? At these things, you got to have your buddy, right? Be like, "Yo, buddy, I got to go to the outhouse.
Again, we had some pretty
Come
good
with
props
me.
on that shit.
Come with me so that I don't get fucking lost." Buddy system, dudes and dudettes. Buddy system. His buddy system failed. But it sounds like maybe he went stumbling through, ended up in a tent that wasn't his. So whoever's tent it was, I don't know about the stripping down part. I'm guessing he probably did that to himself. Was naked trying to get into a tent, right? And then got drug out and beat up. Because that's weird how he says it. They kicked me out. Like out of the festival or out of a tent? I don't know. He says, "I don't know where any of my stuff is."
I feel like he did something that he definitely got in trouble for.
I feel like that's par for the course, though. I mean, naked, of course you wouldn't know where any of your stuff is. "I've spent days licking water off leaves and eating nothing but rotten crab apples." I know you probably think I'm crazy as hell. Don't call the cops. So yeah, I don't know.
He was definitely a very redneck.
Oh yeah, it was definitely. I was waiting for him to ask him about squealing like a pig or something. I don't know. It kind of had that feel to it, you know, that backwoodsy.
I feel that guy might have not even made it home after that.
Yeah,
like he might be trapped in that dude's basement.
Yeah, maybe. With all the other Tomorrow World Festival goers that have gotten lost. It's like free LSD this way, and then they just like doop, like trap around the ankle.
3 or 4 days.
Just like flings them up the tree, just dangling.
I think it's part of it. You lose them for 3 or 4 days, so they're too weak to like fight back.
He says, I went out to my bow stand, my bow hunting stand, and he heard someone yell. He looked down to find a man standing in the creek holding a walking stick, a +5 walking stick, with not a stitch of clothing on him. Oh, that's terrible. He says, "I did save his life, and I didn't call the cops. Sorry I wasn't so trusting to a random naked stranger in the creek out in the middle of the woods who couldn't differ a dream from reality."
And you couldn't tell him his
address
either.
There was some internet comments about how Casey was kind of a dick to him. He's like, "I know I was confrontational at first, but what you don't see is the hour after that of me getting him to safety. And I saved his life and I didn't call the cops." But yeah, like you roll up on some, like if we were out here in our woods, right? And we just rolled up on some fool that was naked from some festival that had happened 4 days previous. Like, for one, I'm sure there's a missing persons out on this guy. Maybe. I mean, how bad did your buddy system fail? 4 days and there's nobody looking for you? I'd say your buddy system's completely fucked. Completely all fucked. So.
There is.
When going to festivals and experiencing different layers of the onion that is our reality, gotta have your buddy.
I would be unfriending that group of fuckers that came out there with me because none of them are very good at the buddy system.
Tomorrow World. That's awesome. You had a pretty profound experience. Yeah, you want to talk about that at all?
It was interesting.
Well, what was it?
Well, I ended up on something
Yeah.
And
Your first time
and I
experiencing
ended
a
up, like,
different layer of reality.
Oh,
For your
what a
first
reality.
time.
Yeah, what a reality. I
Right?
ended up. At first, I was not happy. Well, actually, at first, I was kind of happy. We were listening to some tunes. Everything was good. I was playing with the ground because I love the dirt. We've figured that one out.
You do that every time. You like look over it and she's like digging for oil or burying her poop or something. I don't know what. Her hands are like in the dirt every time.
I'm
It's
touchy
good.
with stuff.
No,
I
it's
like
good.
to touch shit.
It's
Okay.
good. You can touch all you want. We did see. Hold on, we did see somebody that had gone over the top a little bit and
with the touching.
stepped in some horse shit. Basically, I'm just gonna be blunt. She stepped in some horse poop, saw beautiful colors, and proceeded to paint herself with these colors.
I hope she's listening or hears about this. In her defense, I'm going to tell you, horse poop does have a pretty glow to it.
That is true.
Tripping out like that.
But the smell. Does rainbow beautiful goodness smell like poo-poo? I don't think it does.
With all that dust, she may not have been able to smell it.
Hmm?
You know, like
that is true. Note to self: bring more dust masks.
Not in regular reality.
Yeah.
Fucking all that dust. I mean, maybe.
I thought it was rainicorn poop, rainbow colored. I don't know.
I really.
So you had.
I'm gonna give her that.
You had a breakthrough. And you were not covered in horse poop.
No. I kept myself safe in my tent.
I am really proud of you.
I was very
responsible. You had the worst timing for my reality of when that all started.
No, you just have friends feeding you the wrong shit at the wrong time.
Well, that was
not my fault.
I didn't expect that I would that was, but it was good, and I'm glad you did. And was I not correct in that you will feel better once you get all of this out?
You are correct. He was correct.
Yo.
It was all I did was bawl my fucking eyes out, actually.
But
after we got back to the tent,
there's a reason for that.
Yes.
You bottled that shit up for so long.
Dude, I haven't seen a therapist since I was like 16.
It took this other layer of reality to like break those walls down and let you pour a little of that liquor out, you know? It was good. I thought it was good. You need to do it more often, I think.
I think there's going to be a few
not
more crying
more often,
sessions.
but yeah, you need to therapeutically, I'm going to say not 3 times a week, but the once a month, I think would be beneficial.
Okay,
in my professional
we have that,
opinion.
And then we have the Jamhole once a month as well.
That's right.
Okay, so we got 2 sessions of something going on. That's
2 different realities, if you will. I will. This one, right, and then that other one.
Right, but they're both very releasing. Like
real?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one's kind of
vivid.
real. Shit, yes. I don't know.
Also. But it wasn't to the point where you were like not having a good time. Like once you slept a lot that day, right? Once we finally went to sleep.
When I woke back up.
Right. But then when you came back to, you were like glowing.
I was glowing. I got to have a great conversation with Bob. Like me and Bob bonded over it.
That was cool.
I talked to Kyle a little bit because he bothered me and Bob. But it's cool. I love Kyle. It's good. I was bonding with Bob, and Kyle came in because, I don't know, maybe he didn't have Kyle camp anymore. He was sad about that. I don't know. Actually, that was just his tent, and he came in.
Yeah, he was, because I was like, Pixar, it didn't happen. How about you prove it? Summon them right now. Bring it on. Let's see him. And he hopped on his radio. He was like, Kyle's assemble. And it was like the most anticlimactic thing ever, because we just like sat there and waited and nothing. I was like, I told you, dude, that's never going to happen ever, ever, ever again in your life. You will never see that. It was just one of those things.
I hope to see it. I hope it's at the next festival. I hope they come back as a group.
There's probably some like private Facebook page for them or something that they all plot their revenge on. We did meet. I don't want to say his name or anything and blow up his spot, but we met this guy that was, I guess, back in like the 80s, just running a lot of shit, and there was some raids that happened there back in like the early 90s. or late 80s. I think
Back in the day.
it was like 89-ish. I was 9 years old. This fool was like helicopter parked on his property, SWAT team, like full Marine regalia, just the whole thing on his property, knocking on the door and everything. And he's like, "Can I help you?" And they're here to apparently the house up the hill is the place that they were raiding. And he's like, "It's not mine. That's not mine. Why are you?" And they're like, "Well, can we look around here?" He's like, "No. And you can also get your helicopter the fuck off of my property. If you're raiding that place, go park your shit up there." And after that all goes down, he like makes it out of this totally all good, ends up taking off to some other country and ends up like making a living being one of those guys that like gets stuff in other exotic countries, like just weird random stuff, brings it back, gets it like on the cheap, right? Like sweatshop prices on the fucking cheap, brings all that shit back and just fills a little like quirky store with it. And people pay big bucks in California
Stupid shit.
for like handmade rugs or just weird random exotic shit. And apparently realized that he can make a good living doing this.
Fuck yeah.
And for the next 20 years, he just fucking did the festival and like all this. I'm like,
he has the best stories in general.
Yeah. He had I wish I would have had the recorder with us. I don't know how. That's the other thing about these places.
I've never seen someone go from a dead sleep, like just kicking it there with a group of people and not talking and just totally out. And he's like, "What just like?" And he just throws something out there, like he's listened this whole time.
I don't think you could though at places like that because people, I think they would be weird about being recorded. I'm sure you would find some that would be way into it, but I think it would be.
I think our younger crowd in the tent would have. Like,
well, yeah,
they're fucking.
Yeah. Our younger crowd, our teeny demographic, yeah.
Our teeny bopper Sour Patch Kids, yeah, they can.
Yeah.
They can keep their name.
I feel like though it's good because if there's not somebody to guide those people, like they will end up just fucking retarded messes, and we can't. Right now, the future is looking grim, right? We got Ebola making a comeback. We got just shit fucked up. We need as many of these people to go on to do better things than what our previous people have done. So the more help that we can give them in enlightening and showing them the way, I think the better off we're all going to be. Because when I'm 80, I'm going to not want to have to deal with, shitty shit like this.
Yeah.
You better have that shit on lock by the time I'm 80 or I'm out. I don't even want to live to be 80. But if the world isn't awesome.
You guys got 50 some years to go.
I know. I'm just saying. It's a long fucking time.
40 some years, sorry.
It's a long time to fuck some more shit up proper.
That is a phenomenal amount of time. Things could go really good or really bad. Like it could be completely fucked up 10 times worse.
Oh yeah.
Or way better.
Hopefully you guys pull your heads out of your asses and make it way better. This is kind of, I don't know. There's a couple things I want to say about this after I tell you. So there's these parents, right? These parents that in Alaska that their son had been missing and they thought that he was dead. Right. They called people. They were like, our son has been missing. He's dead. And then after they like come to terms with all of this, thought he died in a car crash because, they got a call from a state trooper. They said, "Yeah, your son died in a car crash." So you get over that. Right. And then you realize that it wasn't and that your son is alive. And then I feel like now when you really die, that's not going to be as, because they already experienced that. And that's not their fault. Like you believe that your family member, your son or whatever is dead. Like you just go into those steps, right? The grief and denial. All right. So you get over all of that. And then he comes back.
What happens next
and
time?
it's like, do you just get through them quicker, or are you just like, I can't even? You're still dead to me because I can't. I mean, I'm sure they were completely happy when he went, but I just like, you already went through that. Now, how is that?
I think that would be very weird,
right?
Thinking about everything that's happened in my life. If like I'd be like, hey, guess what? Surprise! I'd be like, what the fuck?
No, you're dead. You stay dead.
No,
you don't come back.
No, this didn't happen.
I'm gonna have to do all that again. Fuck. So maybe
I don't want to do over like that in life. No.
Maybe we should all have dog tags or something. I don't know.
It's getting there. They're starting to put the chips in. It's good.
Oh, this is gross. I don't. And if you had a 3-inch, right, like 3 inches, like little dickling, a leech that was up in your nose living. And see, this is another one of those that like, is this true?
I don't.
You think
feel
this
like
is
it should
true?
be.
If you had a 3-inch long leech living in your nose, would you know?
You would have to know.
Right?
That's not something you couldn't know.
Would
about.
you deal with it for a month?
Like, you could not be high enough to not deal with that. There is nothing.
No.
Okay, first, like, that is really a thin layer. Like.
Would you just think it was a booger in there? And you like pick it out and then go to eat it and it's like trying to suck on your face?
No. There's no way.
That's gross. She was a British backpacker who was troubled by weeks of nosebleeds. And then, the thing had been living up there for more than a month. She believed the persistent nosebleeds were what she suffered from traveling around Southeast Asia, were down to a burst blood vessel from a motorbike crash. I get nosebleeds all the time. I'm fine. Once she got home, she spotted an object in one nostril that it's just congealed blood. It's fine. But then she went to...
When that doesn't go away, like, why would you... What the...
You would know, right? It's moving.
There's no fucking way.
You'd feel that, right?
I mean, think
Okay.
about it. When you touch your nose because it itches or something and it moved,
Like,
wouldn't
there's
you be like,
something
okay,
in
something
there.
is moving in my fucking nose? Yo, bro, look at this shit.
Do I have something in my nose here?
I feel like I might be high. Like, there's no reality that you couldn't feel that in.
24 years old. She was rushed to A&E Edinburgh's Royal Infirmary after realizing she had an animal up her nose. Really? After I got home, the nosebleeds stopped, and I started seeing something sticking out of my nose, like just a tail, like sticking. That's so gross. Ugh. I tried to blow him out and grab him, but I couldn't get a grip on him before he retreated back up my nose.
Ew. That's so gross. Out of all the shit I've seen in my life, that is just...
This has to be fake. There's no way.
No way. It's just... And it's gross.
I tried to blow him out and grab him, but I couldn't get a grip of him before he retreated back up my nose. When I was in the shower, he would come right out as far as my bottom lip, and I could see him sticking out the bottom of my nose. When that happened...
that is when you snorkel on assault.
When that... Right? I'll show this mother... Suck on that, leech. Wait, that's snails. Is it leeches also?
Leeches, snails,
anything like that? It just dry them up,
what's
right?
The other? Yeah, that's their kryptonite.
So when that happened, I jumped out the shower to look really close in the mirror, and I saw ridges on him, and that's when I realized he was an animal.
So every time she showered for a month, this thing came out of her nose, and it took her to look in a mirror to realize that there was something wrong with that idea.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Every time I shower, something just goes down to my lip, and I could feel it. But
the first time I felt him retreat up my nose, like,
you'd be done.
Oh man. Hospital staff examined her with a torch before trying to remove the parasite with forceps and tweezers as they pinned her to the bed. She said it was agony. Whenever the doctor grabbed him, I could feel the leech tugging at the inside of my nose. Nope. Nope.
Yuck.
Salt, right? That's brilliant. Why didn't these doctors think of that? They're just like trying to yank it out of there, torching it and shit.
Well, and all that saline solution has sodium in it. Like, why would you not just like soak it in there and like fucking shove that Q-tip up her nose?
Right?
And then it would drip down her nose or make her snort salt.
Then all of a sudden,
snort
after
salt.
half an hour, the pain stopped and the doctor had the leech and the tweezers. It was about as long as my forefinger and as fat as my thumb. Look at this thing. That
you
is
could not know that
giant,
that was not in your nose.
Can we can you guys see this? Look at this thing.
It's disgusting.
Boom. Presenting. Yeah. Look at that motherfucker. You see that shit? Tell me you would go a month with that thing living up your shit right there and like making little appearances every now and again when you're in the shower and then like being like, nope, right back up there. There's no way, right? There's no fucking way. So nice.
If indeed she is that stupid and it is real, she just needs to be shot and put in her grave anyway.
You think, right?
Because
you would think so.
It's not all right.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. Lately in the news, all of the beheadings and the ISIS thing, just terrorists causing terror because of other terrorists, because of 9/11. Because of
9/11. It's all because of
9/11. Because of year after year after decade of just always choosing the lesser of two evils in this whole system here. That kind of shit's gonna happen, right? You can't go to another place and be like, here, we're gonna give you guys a bunch of guns, bombs, and we're not gonna give you guys, you're gonna take them over. But then when they're like, now we have all the power. You can't
bottle all that shit up by taking it and then take their blanket.
You gotta either take all their blankets or just stay the fuck away, right? But and it's almost Halloween, right? It's almost my birthday. Also, I just want to say, but it's almost Halloween, and some Halloween decorations are
dead stuff.
Dead stuff, sure.
Like
dead things, right? Zombies and what have you. Some places are actually having concerns over these beheadings happening. Busch Gardens in Virginia, for example, they removed props from their annual Halloween following complaints about severed heads. And the Florida location, out of all places, they've also toned down some of their scenes. Locally, though, haunted house owners say they've not had any complaints so far. They say we try to stay away from current events. We want it to be a fun attraction, not something
not a horror attraction?
Not something that goes over the line. I guess
there's a line you can cross on that.
Visitors to Frightmare. Clever. The Halloween industry is much like the coffee house. Like coffee places, they always have a pun. It's like how you being, man. That kind of dumb shit.
Yes.
That punny marketing crap, right?
That if it's me, you don't need.
Hallow Scream. I mean, let's, as a collective group, can we all just try and pick that bar up just a little bit? I mean, I'm sure it was clever at first, but it's 2014.
It gets tiring eventually.
Wait, did you say it gets frightening? Frightening? See, I could work at one of these PR firms. That's just off the top.
No.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute in a room with a bong and a pen and a piece of paper. I'll have your whole thing sketched out. Names, puns, all that.
I can't believe I finally finished that damn sketch.
Oh, yeah.
That was...
We should make it some album art. It's good. I'm going to hang it in the studio, actually. Visitors
in what room?
In this one. Visitors,
no, like on what? Like where?
Wherever. Visitors to Frightmare won't see any severed heads or decapitated bodies this year either. Although they say it's more coincidence than intention. It's just coincidence.
Well, like look back on all the years of like photos from all those places, because they always have them every year for all events. You're going to fucking see severed heads every year.
They say we'll have to see how it plays out. If people take it the wrong way, well, then we're going to have to change. Problem. Right?
don't go to a scary Halloween event.
In the aftermath of the Columbine High School shootings back in '99, Frightmare scrapped one scene where an actor pointed a shotgun loaded with blanks at patrons.
That's more local. I guess I could understand that a little bit more.
So you're saying there's no scene where it's like a movie theater and like everyone's watching Batman and then all of a sudden some fool rolls in with like it too soon? I mean, that would scare me. I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna honestly say when we went to see Batman, we both brought our guns. We fucking both brought them in there.
Of course
we rolled up in there ready to go.
Of course. He says it's tasteless. It's not scary. It's just too realistic in Colorado. We want people to come back next year and not be totally disgusted. So you want to have like a creepy thing, but you don't want to. That's a weird thing, right? That's like a weird line to walk. Like, why don't you just do a fucking like Afghanistan remake? You know, like that shit's scary. Why don't you just put some IEDs in some shit and like you'll have a little crew and you'll roll through like a video game, right?
I just feel like everyone should know that kind of shit's going to be in a Halloween setting. So if you're not ready to see something like that,
but
then
is that
don't
where you
fucking
draw
go.
the line then? Or is it like fake? Like you can have vampires and zombies and werewolves, but not like beheaded journalists and Muslims? Like, I don't, is that...
There is no line. Like, I love Halloween. I know you don't.
So if you had a werewolf, listen. If you had a werewolf head on a stake, right? Just werewolf head, maybe just dog. Fuck it. We'll just say there's a dog, and then you have like just the normal, like, you know, Caucasian head, just right there on the stake. Which one's more offensive?
Actually, I think the
Maybe
regular dog would be more offensive to me because I would see the head on the stake of a human as
yeah, like that's a zombie or something.
No. Because Dracula
maybe that guy stole some
originally
shit. You don't know.
From Dracula, who was a king that put like people's heads on stakes and like stabbed their body through the stake.
You had to back then.
So I would see that more as a like that's normal for It's Halloween, dude. Like,
yeah,
blood and gore is gonna be there. So if you don't like it, don't fucking go.
What do you think ISIS will do for Halloween? Do you think they'll have like a Halloween themed video? Like cutting off Dracula's head or some shit? That'd be so weird. We are also liking this holiday. I don't know how they talk. It's probably something like that. So
how many fake videos do you think people might get like over Halloween shit like that?
Of like what? Like people getting heads cut off, or like people throwing fake bodies over overpasses, or you know, shit like that.
Weird kind of shit like that. I wonder
people
how much shit
do
they get like that.
Weird shit during that time. It's almost like it's like the Purge, right?
It's
like,
the okay to
this
do
is
that.
the night. Yeah, this is the night. All you hoes can dress as slutty as you want, because tonight's the night. We're gonna get fucking crazy. We're gonna cut some fucking heads off. I mean, do some drinking, some drugging. You know?
The one thing I don't like is the whole black cat thing. Like
I like black cats.
That's what I'm saying. I like animals. And it's the most dangerous time of year for black cats.
Oh, for animals. Because people kill them shits.
Yeah.
Because they think it's unlucky.
Right.
It's like the albinos in Africa getting their little balls cut off because they think it's magic. People believe in some dumb shit. I'm just saying.
Right, but all these like innocent black cats die because people are just fucking idiots.
Do they? Like putting firecrackers up their butts and stuff? Or what are you talking about? Just cats getting hunted and killed?
In general,
and
like they
run over?
September and October, especially October, humane societies won't even adopt black cats out because people sacrifice them.
Can you cite your sources? Hold on. People sacrifice sacrificial.
Yes, right.
You sacrificed one?
No. My black cat, Bubba, his mother and his siblings were found in October. He's an October baby. And the Humane Society couldn't do anything with them. They gave them to us. And if we had to give them back, they weren't going to be able to give him away until the end of November, they said.
Because they were afraid they would be giving them away to a family that was about to get their ritual sacrifice on.
It happens a lot.
For harvest.
They say it happens a lot. So him and one
once
of his
a
other
year.
siblings didn't go anywhere for a long time.
Huh.
And then we gave the other black cat to some old lady whose cat died. So she was happy. Obviously, I'm hoping she wasn't going to sacrifice a cat.
Yeah,
And my little fucking Bubba is no longer little.
that's right. As a big cat.
He's fucking huge. He was the runt. And now he's this big, like...
This is kind of awesome. Kind of, it has to somewhat do with, again, perhaps the buddy system failing for an individual here. This is in Washington. Funny enough, in Roy, Washington. So between September 26th and October 3rd, which is right before the festival, right? That was weird. This gentleman, George Jacobson, he broke into some homes. Possibly not breaking into, but maybe just confused, right? Thought it was the wrong home.
Yeah,
sure. And often unintelligible demands, babbling about being on a spiritual journey of sorts.
checking out every house, like on every block.
They found him in a barn on the property holding a single black boot. Why, when people change realities, can you not bring your clothes with you? Because I feel like I've experienced, I wouldn't say like all of them by far, but you know, a fair amount of different realities, and I've always managed to bring my clothes back with me. So I don't know what
I've taken off any clothes on anything I've
are these different
because
drugs?
I was hot. I got really warm.
Well, yeah, but you know, to a point. I mean, I don't. Do you get that twisted that
well, if
you
you're
really
gonna get that hot, switch out of like your sweats or the hot clothes you're in and put on a fucking pair of shorts.
Yeah,
I brought shorts. Like
they just found him in a barn holding a boot. He ran off when he was confronted and fled to a neighboring property where he entered a home and was found by the female owner. That's sexy. He kept
with her shotgun
and her fucking her MAC-10. He kept repeating the phrase "bad neighbor," but was not making much more sense. Bad neighbor, bad touch. When the woman tried to calm the man and ask him if there was anything he wanted,
while holding her shotgun. I'm sure that's so cool.
Why are you asking a naked guy yelling "bad neighbor" if there's anything he wants? Like that's asking for trouble. He demanded that she make him a sandwich. I'm tripping, but I'm coherent enough to know that's a female voice asking me what I want. Bitch, I want a sandwich. I'm hungry and naked.
Is that kind of like that thing I've been seeing all over Facebook with like if a woman has a knife that just like
oh yeah she's gonna make a sandwich. Yeah
fuck that.
Or like today earlier when my nephew saw you, he's like he's 2 1
that
he's
was
like,
not
1.
okay.
He just like rolls up to her, points, and is like, cook.
I walked up to him like, hey little man, how you doing?
Cook.
He puts his hand up. Cook.
He knows the redhead always cooks when he's here because
or at his house.
Well, yeah, that's so awesome.
Whenever your mom was like whatever you do with him is what he is setting, and every time he sees you, you're in the kitchen or you've got the food.
Yeah.
So that's what he brings
so
up
awesome,
to me.
Though he just like laid it out. Cook.
Like there was nothing out. Cook. Like I'm fucking hungry. Cook.
So he demands a sandwich while eating, which tells me that she did in fact make him a sandwich. He told her about his journey, showing her the boot and saying that it contained jewels. This
would have been a terrific thing to see.
Right?
I would have.
Why do I always miss this?
Where the fuck's a YouTube video of that shit?
The woman's husband came home. She's like, it's not what it looks like. Did you make him a sandwich?
Why has he only got a boot?
Whoa.
Where's his clothes? Why has he got one boot?
And the pair convinced him to get in their car, and they drove him out to 72nd Ave and dropped him off. Well, that was nice of them, I guess.
Is that where he told them they lived?
I'm
he
guessing
lived or
not.
something?
That's just far enough away that he's not going to walk back or something. The police claim his annoying antics became a major problem when the couple realized he had actually ransacked their home and stolen a gun. Ooh.
Whoop!
Whoops.
I guess she didn't have her gun.
They searched the area with dogs, didn't locate him. He remained at large until the 3rd, when a woman found him standing in her home holding her purse and her keys. So he evades the cops, flees in the woman's car, and then crashes it a few miles later. He then goes into another home, pulls a gun, and demands that he be driven to Rainier, which is about 13 miles away. He said he made the driver take a detour through a McDonald's drive-thru so he could get a soft drink.
Oh my God.
Okay. Then he was finally arrested in Rainier. Officers noted that he was clearly high on something. Really? Did he ask you to make him a sandwich? He told them later that he could not remember anything from the week, except, of course, for stealing a car and that nice man who had taken him to McDonald's. He told the
what
officers...
about the bitch that made him a sandwich?
I know, right?
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Ungrateful motherfucker. He told the cops that
a few of those.
Right? Ungrateful. Just gimmies. He told the officers that his irregular behavior was because of a bad trip and that he prefers meth.
Where's his shirt?
Hold up.
We need your address. We're going to get you a
up.
shirt and we're going to mail it to you.
You know, LSD, not really my thing. I usually like meth. Actually, you know what probably happened? I bet he
got bath salt.
Or some 2CI or something that looks like meth, I guess, but it's not and will make you fucking trip the fuck out, especially if you're not expecting it, especially if you're a meth addict. Like, I feel like that meth addicts have that special, you know, I don't know. That
I think every drug you have a mindset where you're going into, and if you don't go into that reality,
like hell yeah, I'm gonna do a line of meth, I'm gonna get shit done, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna like you just like hallucinate. You're fucking done, naked, holding a boot with some fucking jewels in it.
Yeah, the only hallucination that they're like thinking that's gonna happen is they're gonna fucking paranoid about shit that's like gonna be around.
So he's charged with robbery, kidnapping, burglary, theft of a firearm, $1 million bond. So boom.
That's bigger than Jinx's.
Shut that shit down.
Nice.
Shut it right down.
Boom.
Let's see. Oh, Idaho, our most not favorite fucking state to have to drive through. There's a bus carrying paintball players. It struck and killed a Washington man that was inside of a zombie attraction at a corn maze in northern Idaho. Oh man. This 18-year-old, he's from Spokane Valley. He was a role player in the Zombie Slayer paintball bus attraction. That would be fun, I bet. I mean, not getting hit by a bus, but he's dressed as a zombie, emerged from his hiding place and ran toward the modified school bus, tripped and fell in the front of the rear passenger side tires. Oops. Run over and killed instantly, but lucky for him, he came back from the dead and pretty much nailed the best zombie performance of his career.
Anyone's ever lifetime.
Yeah. It was not until the bus had traveled away from the victim that the people realized that something was wrong. The role players started to reset, right, for the next bus to come along, except for, you know, homie over there in the ground. He's not moving. Poke him with a stick.
It's just part of the act. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. No, really, guys, it's good.
The focus of the attraction is the bus creeps forward, so the customers have plenty of opportunity to blast away at the zombies. This looks like it was just a horrific confluence of events. I feel like maybe that couldn't have gone any better, though, right? I mean, if you want... And I don't mean to say that this life was not worth the cost of admission to the ticket or whatever he was getting paid. But as a performer, right, he went out with
a bang.
Yeah.
Boom. Like, you could not.
That was real. You can't pay. I mean, you can maybe pay like ISIS or something to make, you know, but other than that, like that was you those customers walked away with that real experience. And I feel like today, in this day and age, there's a lot of fakery out there, you know? There's a lot of bullshit. When somebody goes above and beyond the Call of Duty here and really sells it, I can appreciate that. So, thank you.
Props to him.
Right? Jeremy McSpadden Jr. Props. Best zombie ever.
For sure.
Okay. Last one here. This is kind of awesome. We kind of always talk about teachers that do awesome discipline for the children who racket discipline, right? The latest one about the biting that bit the kid back, right? So this one's pretty awesome. Also in Washington, Stevenson, 15-year-old girl.
Fuck. This shit's all in like the north, like our hemisphere.
Northwest. That's
yeah, our fucking hemisphere's fucked right now.
So a cell phone video comes out of this classroom from May where a boy cowers in a corner with a book over his face as students pelt him with koosh balls. You remember koosh balls? They were like those little, it was the little rubber, and then they had little bits of rubber hanging off, like little tiny, but it was covered in them, so it looked like fur, but it was all rubber. It's called a koosh ball. Anyway, they're throwing, and I mean, really, they don't hurt because you can't really throw them that fast. Like, as hard as you can throw it because of how the little rubber thing made, they don't go very fast. It'll hit you, but it's not going to, like, hurt you to where you have to like scream out in pain and get this teacher fired.
But I guess it was how
15-year-old, right? She's a sophomore. She was being punished because she was chewing gum in class. Now she looked over and she told me to spin the wheel, and that's like a normal thing. So there's this thing called the Wheel of Misfortune that Miss Patterson kept in her class, right? It landed on Koosh firing squad.
Okay, so why? Wait.
That's a thing on the Wheel of Misfortune when you misbehave.
Wait a minute. So if this is on the wheel, like, shouldn't the whole school be in trouble? Because you would think the principal and everybody else would have to fucking know about this wheel. Because every kid's gonna be bitching about it. Like, so you have to go in there and be like,
it's just for show.
That stuff is okay. Whoa, no,
like
that's uncalled for. That has to be taken off.
Yeah.
That's too far.
She says 30 students and Miss Patson, a former semi-pro baseball player.
Okay,
whoa!
And now you might be hiding from a book.
Okay. Look out.
Now I might be in the book.
But it's a Kush. You're not throwing a fucking baseball. Like, who cares? You could be fucking Nolan Ryan. You're throwing a Kush ball. It ain't going to really hurt you.
If they all throw one, that's 31 things coming at you.
At the same time.
Like, and you don't know if she only gave him one or if everybody got three.
But that's the point. It's punishment. This isn't happy, fun recess time. You shouldn't be chewing gum in class, right? Respect. Why are you chewing gum? Like, I don't know the answer to this question because I was texting, Snapchatting, like chewing gum.
Hey, I chewed gum in school all
the time.
I
bet you did. I would have thrown a koosh ball right in the face.
But when they asked me the question, I always knew the answer. So it wasn't like
so
they
lined up and take turns hitting her. I clearly said I didn't want to do this, and after that, I found out that you can opt out with a lunch detention. And when I said I don't want to do this, she said too bad or something, and I got pelted. There were videos of it, of course. I wish I could find them.
They're probably off.
Yeah, and she says I'm gonna be honest. I hope she gets fired because it was beyond humiliating. Good. I bet no one else
There's that
will
humiliation
do that.
tactic we were talking about out there.
Yeah, it works. Oh, musical humiliation.
Yes, yes.
Our friends met some hippies at the thing and they practiced a form of discipline called musical humiliation. We should try this. So what you do is whenever your kids or anybody, I guess really, is acting up, you sing to them about their behavior in the form of a musical. You're being a whiny little bitch. I really wish you would just stop crying. You know, something like that, right? But just humiliating the fuck out of it. I think that is a brilliant idea. Not as brilliant as throwing the Kush firing squad.
I don't know. I do think that might be a little far.
I'm curious to see what else
is on it.
The Wheel of Misfortune.
That would be neat.
Like eat a bowl of dicks, Kush firing squad, lunch like, oh, that's awesome.
Shoved off the stairs. That'd be kind of cool.
I got caught. One comment here. It says I got caught chewing gum in 6th grade back in the late 60s. I had to put it on the chalkboard and put my nose in it. It didn't ruin my self-esteem. My parents didn't call the news or an attorney, but you know what I did do? I never chewed gum in class again.
Boom.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and right, here's another comment. Oh, the horror. Akoosh balls. Oh, no. That's so good. Oh, man.
She's going to hate koosh balls for the rest of her life.
I know, and look at her. Little ginger, whiny.
I noticed
whiny
that. I was
little
not going to
ginger
bring that
baby.
part
She
up.
is a ginger, so I understand why you're
Hey, we bruise easy.
sympathizing. Oh, I know. A koosh would bruise you. A koosh would bruise the fuck out of you.
So think about that. 31, like 31 fucking bruises. That would
Not. Let's be honest though. Only like half of those
the kids actually
are really
aim.
gonna throw the fucking thing any
Or
kind of
hit.
Yeah.
Like not everybody has accuracy.
Yeah. There's no way.
I think probably all 30 kids actually did throw them.
You think?
Hitter, maybe not. But like, does
Definitely
that not sound
threw it
fun?
at the, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
fuck yeah. We
I
used to have
mean,
koosh
as
balls.
horrible as that is, like it. If you got to do it, okay. Sorry, I got to do this. Zoe,
I
sorry.
feel like we played that during when we were playing SEPA or Hacky Sack or whatever, and there was this game. I don't even remember what it was called, but there was a part in the game where if you missed it or something, you would have to stand with your face against a wall while everyone took turns throwing it at you, and those hurt a little bit because
Hacky
they're
sacks do
fucking
hurt.
But it was a game, you know. It wasn't like Discipline from the Wheel of Misfortune. I feel like whoever owns the rights to the Wheel of Fortune might have a little lawsuit here. Also, it's all rights reserved, yo.
What?
So, all right.
Those little water balls. What about those water balls? Like they suck up the water. That little like.
Oh yeah,
almost like a Nerf
it's like
ball.
the fake water balloons that you
And
just keep. Yeah, yeah. It's
Those
just a
bitches
sponge.
hurt.
I'll just throw a sponge at you.
No, I don't think a sponge would hurt. Those
All right,
hurt.
we have to go have dinner now. That you're not actually gonna cook, contrary
Right?
to popular belief. So yeah, remember Spring Barter Fair. It's in May. So we got a whole season of snowboarding. All right. So if you want to come snowboard, but then we also have May Barter Fair. It's gonna be awesome. Very excited. And in 10 days, October 22nd, on my motherfucking birthday, we have new music coming out. The Chthonic Chronicles. Very exciting. The Polici. We're releasing our first album. Me and my brother and our friend Ben and Sailor. This is going to be good. You guys are very
It's
excited.
gonna be phenomenal.
It is phenomenal because I've heard it. I've been hearing it.
A lot.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been putting random tracks here and there at the end of episodes. I'll throw another one at the end of this just for the fuck of it.
That one beat of your
It'll
brother's
be a
is
techno one.
fucking
Yeah, we'll do that
just-
one since you've been hearing the raps. It's going to be half the raps, half the technos, all just fucking awesome. If you're curious, you can look up the Polici and see why we chose that name. Yeah, so we'll see you guys next time, the next episode, whenever we get around to it. Email info@thejamhole.com. Thejamhole.com, of course, is the site. The music will be up on the SoundCloud page, and there's a Matt Lee GU page on Facebook. We'll post there, so check it out.
Yes.
And thanks for listening. No, I mean that. Really, thanks. I'll see you guys later. Bye.